Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is more like Chautauqua rainstorm. We left here last week in a rainstorm, and we're in a rainstorm again. What the heck? I feel bad for the grape farmers out there. They are getting hit hard out there. But it was nice in between, wasn't it? We had some really nice weather. Well, I hope you're all doing well, and thanks for joining me today, or whatever day you're joining me on. Do a shout out to all those that are watching us in the afternoon over our streaming live in Europe or wherever you are. I know we had somebody watching from England last week, and I guess it would be way early good morning. Again, we had somebody from British Columbia. I don't even know what time that would be over there. It's probably like, 4 in the morning. Anyways, we're getting around the world, and that's really fun. Also want to say good afternoon as well to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for checking in with us Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So glad that you have a listen. We have a good show in store for you. I think you're going to find it pretty interesting. Speaking of WRFA, Jason Sample, I know you're listening. Chautauqua Sunrise supported their recent fundraiser, and if you gave so much, you got a cool T-shirt. Well, I had this T-shirt that arrived at the house, and for the last 2 weeks, I kept forgetting to bring it in because I really wanted to show it off because it's way cool. So I just want to congratulate WRFA on I'm backwards here, on their fundraiser. I believe they raised, Randy, I can't do this. Everything's opposite of where I'm supposed to be. Hang on a minute, I'll get it. So anyways, there's their logo. See, everything's right and everything's opposite to me. This is this hand, okay. And this is not easy to do, trust me, when you're me. Anyways, they raised over $5,000 for their program. And look at the back of the shirt. This is where you can zoom in. You see anything that looks familiar, Randy? Wait a minute, wrong hand. Here we go, I'll get this. Where is it? It's right here in the middle. Let me reposition it. I'll find it. There it is. There we go, right there, right next to my finger, Chautauqua Sunrise. We're so pleased to be part of the WRFA family, so thanks for that great t-shirt, guys. And this is gonna go in my collection. I don't even know if I'm gonna wear this. This is gonna go in my museum at home. That's what my wife calls my office. Anyways, really nice shirt, and they've been broadcasting us for a number of years now, and so really happy to have a great relationship with them, and we try to support them as well on our end. Hey, we are a live show, and if you care to call in, have a question from my guest or myself, or have an event, you can give us a call at 716-753-5225. And as Jeff has informed me, that we need to make sure that when you do call sometimes on your cell phones, make sure you, on your contact list, that you have the 716-814-585, whatever it is, because I guess at some point in the near future, you won't be able to just phone like we used to. You got to put that 716 in there. So you give us a call if you like. Don't be shy. We got some nice people to answer the phone, and we would love to hear from you. If your club organization has a fundraiser, chicken barbecue, there's things going on right now. We had this little lull right after Labor Day, and now it's starting to creep back up again with activities in the area. You can send it to us. There was the email address, chautauquasunrise@gmail.com, or you can just call it in, and we'll be happy to get that on the air for you. I want to announce this for a couple more weeks, and then I think we'll stop. My Rotary Club, the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club, we are collecting unused Christmas cards that you may or may not have thought about donating, because a lot of times if you're like me, you just stick it in a drawer, say I'll get to it later, and then it piles up and piles up. Let's clean out those closets, get out those cards from under those beds, down in the basement, whatever. As long as they have a nice envelope that fits that card, we would love to have them. Why? Because we then turn around, sign them, and we get them off to folks at the VA. We get them to people that are shut in, Meals on Wheels folks, some of the senior citizen housing and so forth. It's a project that we started about 2 years ago, and so far we have, in the last 2 years, sent out over 3,800 cards. We know it's a hit because we've gotten nice feedback from people. And, you know, I don't know how it is in your household, but people don't send cards as much as they used to or reach out to each other. We get these little text messages on our phone like happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever. There's just something about a tangible card you can hang up, and we would appreciate it. So how do you get them to us? You can give me a call here at the station, or you can call me at home. You can email me, and we'll try to get connected, and I'll pick them up. Linda Dunn over in Westfield, you can look her phone number up. I won't put it on the air. Linda and JB are collecting Christmas cards, or any other Rotarian in the Westfield Mayville area will be happy to get them from you. We've had really good donations in the last 2 years, and we hope to keep that going for many years to come. Sheila Chapman started it in our club, so kudos to her. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, I think that's all as far as my own comments. I do have some announcements to share with you, so let's get to those right now. Okay, this is touching on what I usually talk about this time of year, but since there's an announcement, there's no sense doubling up. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as many of you know, and just above my head, that's the right hand this time, is our pink ribbon to remind everyone, not just ladies, but everyone, that if you have any concerns whatsoever, get checked out. Don't be shy, don't wait, because sometimes waiting is not the best alternative. So, Mammogrammy Days at the Chautauqua Center. They've been on the show before. Used to be one of our underwriters here. They're holding a month-long event to make it easier for patients to get mammograms. Okay, they've partnered with UPMC Chautauqua, Brooks TLC Hospital Systems, and Winsong Mobile Unit to provide expedited mammogram imaging for current and new patients during Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. If existing patients and new patients schedule a clinical exam with their Chautauqua Center doctor and are issued a prescription for a mammogram, they will be eligible to have the imaging done on one of the following Mammogrammy days and locations. Okay, now remember, in the past, Mammogrammy was their big event. That's what they called it. Okay, so here we go. You can go to UPMC Chautauqua Radiology Department in Jamestown On November 4, all day. Windsong Mobile Unit at the National Comedy Center, November 5, all day. Or you can go to Brooks TLC Hospital System, Dunkirk, on November 8th, all day. Okay, and here's a little quote from Mike Pease, the CEO, says, when planning this event, we were thinking about what holds people back when it comes to getting a mammogram. It can be the inconvenience. It can be the length of the wait for an appointment. They can be scared through this month-long event, and with our dates in November, we want to make it as easy as possible, easy peasy, for our patients to get a mammogram. If necessary, we are even providing transportation to and from the mammograms for those dates. Okay, so you can contact the Chautauqua Center. They're up in Jamestown, and they're also in Dunkirk. And you can give them a call at 716-484-4334. Again, 716-484-4334, and extension 1378. Okay? So check it out. Also remember, all your hospitals provide that, as well as Westfield Memorial Hospital, one of my underwriters. And it's easy done, from what I'm told, and they will get you in as quick as you can get there. Okay, next slide here. We have a sing-along. Oh, Randy, I know this is one of the events. I try to get Justin to go to it. He knows the words. All right, thank you. Redland Center for the Arts presents a sing-along of The Sound of Music. He was doing the do-re-mi for me. The interactive movie screening sing-along, A Song of Music, The Sound of Music, will show Saturday, October 23. That's next week, at 6 p.m. at the Redland Center for the Arts. The heartwarming Julie Andrews film, based on the real-life story of the Von Trapp family singers, will be shown in full-screen Technicolor with lyric subtitles that the audience can sing along. Audience members are encouraged to dress as their favorite character from the film. You have a favorite character?
Yeah.
What?
They
You're
sing.
you're one of the singers.
Countryside.
All right, you can be one of the.
Countryside.
You can be one of the shepherds. You can do the yodeling and that.
Yodeling.
There you go. The event begins with host Sister Adam Owens, and if you don't know Adam, he's in the bottom corner of that picture there in the habit, beard and all, leading the audience through a vocal warm-up and a costume competition. Adam's a great guy. We just love Adam. After moviegoers are shown how to use items in a free interactive props bag, they become the stars of the show as they sing along with the movie's timeless songs by Rodgers and Hammerstein. These include Do-Re-Mi, My Favorite Things, Edelweiss, So Long Farewell, and the title song, of course. Tickets, $20 for adults, $12 for patrons, age 18 and younger. Seating is general admission. Okay, if you're interested for tickets, 484-7070. You can go to the box office from Monday and Friday from 12 to 5 and Wednesday from 12 to 8. All right, so that's coming up. Sounds like fun. All right, then I got this off the wire the other day. We got some events coming up this weekend. All right, I believe they're just today, according to this. Okay, Harvest Moon Cemetery Tours departing from the gazebo in Barker Commons on Main Street in Fredonia. Participants can choose from guided horse and trolley or walking tours. Sounds like fun. Trolley tours begin every hour at 7 p.m. with the last tour departing at 10. Walking tours begin every hour starting at 7:15 with the last tour ending at 9:15. All participants should arrive at least 10 minutes before their scheduled time. Walkers will get on a bus at the gazebo and be transported to the cemetery where the walking tour will begin. Masks must be worn while riding the bus to and from the cemetery, but are not required when riding the trolley. Trolley tours are $15 per person and walking tours are $10 per person. For tickets, for more information, give them a call at, I don't have that information. All right. So anyways, you can go check it out there around 7 o'clock. Get there early. Sorry, I don't have the information there because it says click here. It came off the internet, so there was some kind of a link that we don't have. All right, also today's Cockayne Fall Open House from noon to 10 p.m. at Cockayne Resort over there in Cherry Creek. The event will feature chairlift rides, a car show, live music, outdoor activities, food, and more. For more information, you can call at 287-3223. Again, that's today. And also, tonight, a special astronomy night at the Martz Cole Observatory over there on Robin Hill in Frisburg. The event features a space-time symphony, gravitational waves, and black holes. That sounds really cool. Presentation in person or by Zoom webinar from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and an international Observe the Moon Night in person from 8:45 to 11 p.m. The presentation will feature special guest Dr. Lynn Kaminsky from Sonoma State University. Kaminsky will present an introduction to gravitational waves, black holes, and the laser interferometer. Gravitational Wave Observatory. Wow. The Observe the Moon Night is a worldwide public event that encourages observation, appreciation, and understanding of our moon. It will include a tour of the observatory, videos about various aspects of the moon, and a discussion of images of the moon taken from the observatory. Vaccinations and masks are required at the observatory. For more information, give them a call at 569-3689 or call Captain Kirk and he will tell you what's going on since he has now been to space and back. All right, and let's see what else we got here. The Chautauqua Center is doing another big event, and they're launching a book program. So we got a slide for that, I believe. Okay, the clinicians at the Chautauqua Center understand that reading is one of the most effective ways to develop language during early brain development and to gain the early literacy skills required for school readiness. Because not every child in our area has access to a variety of books, at-home pediatric providers at the center are excited to be able to provide new books to patients. The program is made possible by generous donation from Molina Healthcare. The Dunker Pediatrics has been using the nationally recognized Reach Out and Read program for many years. Starting this month, the center in Jamestown has joined the effort with a similar program called Read to Me. Children will receive a book at each well visit, which occur more frequently for younger patients from age 0 to 5, and they will receive a total of 10 books. How cool is that? After that, children will receive books on an annual basis. Books are in English and in Spanish. According to Dr. Paul Robbins, I love using books during appointments. They are a great tool to assess fine motor skills and access motor skills and developmental milestones. It also gives me the chance to role model reading aloud to parents, which is very helpful, especially for new parents. What a great idea. So good on them. We always read to our kids and just love to have books around. And boy, today's a good day, isn't it? Just to curl up with a book and a blanket and cozy up. All right, our last one. Parents stay positive. I got to stretch my lips here for this one. You'll see why here in a second. Ready? Here I go. Parents stay positive with a Triple P Positive Parenting Program. Say that 10 times fast. They have a free 2-hour discussion group, and this is what they do. Identify some of the reasons for the problem behavior, including parent traps. Keep track of the of the problem behavior. Here we go. Use positive parenting strategies. I knew I was going to do that. Use positive parenting strategies for preventing the problem behavior and encouraging good behavior. I think they write this just for me. Use positive parenting strategies for dealing with problem behavior if it happens. I'm sorry. Continue to refine their parent plans. Each discussion group can be taken as a standalone session as part of a series. You can register now and give them a call at 664-3608. So the first one is going to be on October 18th, called Getting Teenagers to Cooperate. On the 25th, Coping with Teen Emotions. On November 1, Building Teen Survival Skills. And then on November 8th is Reducing Family Conflict. And the following day is How how to read an announcement on TV. Okay. There's just way too many P's in that. Folks, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Okay, I'll try not to get tongue-tied for the rest of the show. I get stuck on one word every week. Oh my gosh, strategies. I should probably. It was a tragedy. I probably should rehearse those announcements 10 times before I go on the air. We don't have a lot of time usually to do that. Okay, today we're going to talk with folks from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. I want to welcome, first time, Leslie Willie.
Thank you.
And of course, my friend Diane Hannum, who's been here before, fellow Rotarian. And
Good morning.
Good morning. And we sit on some boards together now, and
more and
we're
more,
everywhere.
more and more.
Yeah. You think there'd be more people in the county? You know, we seem to keep showing up different places. Anyways, so thanks for coming in. I know we had a little technical difficulty. Did we get everything straightened out
I believe
on
so.
the other side of the wall? Great. Okay. Well, that's why I just got the word from the boss. He said we're good to go. All right.
Great. Your guys are great.
They are great, and they make it look easy here, but there's a lot of work that goes behind every show. Okay, so Leslie, let's talk about you for a minute, because I like people to get to know our guests a little bit. Where are you from?
I'm from Fredonia, lived there my whole life.
Okay. And went to school in Fredonia?
I did. I graduated from Fredonia High School. I went to Fredonia State. Yep.
Kind of didn't get out of the area much, did you?
No, I always said that as soon as I graduated high school, I was going to move away and move to New York City, and that's where I was going to go, but I love it here. I
Yeah.
love the community, I love the people, and raising a family here, and I can't imagine doing it anywhere else.
Anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, my kids,
There,
for
go for it,
sure.
go for it.
Milo, Evan, and Jude. We love you. Mommy loves you.
We tried to do that quite often. Kids get a kick out of that. Well, I grew up in Buffalo, and I did most of my education in Buffalo, and then moved down here a long time ago. But we always can visit New York City, right?
Absolutely.
There's
Great place
so
to visit.
much to offer here. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. And what's your role at the foundation?
I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator at NCCF.
All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about that more. That sounds like a difficult title to define. And Diane, how are you today?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having us. And
Did you have like a Red Bull since I last saw you in between here? I mean, you were when you walked in the door, it was like, oh my God, you looked exhausted, and now you're.
as you said, technical difficulties.
They make you crazy, don't they?
Yeah, I borrowed my son's computer, and his is much more advanced than mine. So it slowed me down a little
Slow
this
me
morning.
down. I don't know. You know, it's always when you want something really fast, your internet is down, or you can't do this, or it's the wrong program. It just makes me crazy. Well, anyways, we're glad you got everything worked out. And the guys on the other side of the wall, they're wizards.
They are. They're
You-
impatient.
Yeah, and that was without your brother here, because he's the master wizard, and then you got all the other guys, but they are definitely up for the job. And Jeff does. You're the apprentice.
Apprentices.
Well, I know Jeff does a bang-up job on the other side, and he does a great job. Okay, so what's our topic today? We were going to zero in on one and then talk more about the foundation
Right,
in general. Okay.
Well, wanted to talk about our donors
Okay.
and how they make a difference and how they had the foresight to do that. So Leslie and I were talking, and we thought we'd talk about one donor and one family and how they made a difference. So way back when, in 1983, a local attorney by the name of William Aller passed away, William Burns Aller. His wife, Florence, known as Peggy, passed away in 1993. involved in the community. I never met them personally, but I've heard a lot about them. In fact, I live in their house.
Are you kidding? How
no,
weird
but-
is that?
Yeah, really interesting. She was very crafty, had a long history in Chautauqua County. Her grandfather, remember way back when, you wouldn't have experienced it, but they made those kind of elixirs that they sold as medicine. I'm talking turn of the last century.
Yes, I don't
bottles.
remember those.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, anyway,
But I've seen pictures.
yeah, you've seen those
I have a
pretty
bottle, Dr.
bottles.
So-and-so's,
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
whatever,
about.
back pain medicine or
Yep.
something.
Well,
yeah.
her grandfather was one of those who had such an elixir,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fenner's elixir.
Well, I have that. That's
No,
the
you
ball I
don't.
have.
Really?
I do.
And
It's
that
Dr.
has Fredonia
Yes,
inside?
and it's
See?
like an aqua blue. I have
See?
one in my office.
It's all connected. It's all connected.
I never knew anything about the guy.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, Dr.
And she
Fenner.
was
I gotta write
connected
that.
with the Fenner House. Again, crafty, involved. He was a golfer, but really loved the community, right? So after they passed, they had left, through their will, a bequest with us that created a fund, right? So all of our funds are endowed, which means we don't spend them, we just spend the income. So last year, they helped support COVID relief. They were able to make a contribution to support the agencies and the individuals that needed help because of the pandemic. Well, they passed away years ago, but here they were last year addressing our community's most pressing needs. And that's what the foundation helps us do. We leave something for the community, we love the community, and it stays there after we pass. It's there, it's helping address issues and opportunities that we don't know right now that are going to exist 20 years from now. I can't imagine talking to Mr. and Mrs. Aller and saying, hey, do you know that in 2020 there's going to be a pandemic and it's going to, impact everybody in the world? They'd be like, maybe, maybe not. But they trusted the foundation
Yeah.
to be able to take care of the money that they left and to put the money where it was needed most.
Okay, let me ask a question now. So you said they help
Mm-hmm.
in years later. So when people donate, do they say, and I'm not messing around right now, but would they say that to be used for medical emergencies or if there's a crisis? I mean, or how was that money set up?
Well, it can be that specific.
Mm-hmm.
It can be for a particular organization, for a particular charity or a particular area of service, like youth service. But what really makes the impact in the community are what we call community benefit funds. So again, you can set it up specifically for, say, the Lakeshore Arts Center, or you can do what we call community benefit fund, which changes year after year. Like I said, COVID relief, they wouldn't have known that was needed. Years ago, we were helping libraries get set up with internet access through these types of funds. If someone had set up a fund to support libraries with internet access, it's really not a need anymore. So that's the power. When I think of community benefit funds, I think of a big muscle, saying these are powerful. These help today, they help tomorrow, and they'll help 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now.
Help me now. You and I were in the leadership, Chautauqua
Yes.
Leadership Network.
Yep.
Remember together? I just realized we've known each other a long time.
That was many years
I've been
ago.
around for like 25 years
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And one of the things I remember, and why it sticks in my mind, maybe because that was purposeful at the time, is we had a defined community. Do you remember that? So, for your foundation, what is community? Who is the community? Who do you cover? Who's involved?
Are you talking about geography or?
Either or,
Yeah.
anything, however you want to
Yeah.
approach it.
So we could say, with regards to geography, that we serve northern Chautauqua County, which you can define in all sorts of ways.
That's right.
But
That's why I
really-
asked the question.
Yeah, but we serve the whole county. We serve the whole region. We have, in our county, we're lucky to have two community foundations. We have Chautauqua Region Foundation. You've probably had, I think Tori and I were
Tori?
most on the show. But,
It's been a while.
yeah. They serve the greater Jamestown, kind of the southern portion of the county, but we work together all of the time. We do things regionally. Western New York. Right now, we have a project at the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, where we're working with community foundations around the Great Lakes.
Super.
Yeah. So we
Alright.
focus on Northern Chautauqua, but gosh, we help the whole county, we help
Yeah,
Northern
there's,
Chautauqua.
you can't take out a map and see where the line is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if you feel that you kind of lean more north,
Sure.
you go.
There you go.
You know, I mean,
lean.
and then thank you for the map. You know? So you
Draw
know,
a
it's
line, yeah.
here I go backwards again, somewhere in that region up. But you know, I always laugh because you know I have my column. I don't know if you know this. I write a column. I've been writing for like 15 years. And I call it From Out of the West.
Okay.
Because we're West County.
Yep.
You know, 'cause-
Ooh.
yeah. And so that really gets everybody stirred up. And then I got people. I'm from the East. Well, there you go. It's just we always talk north south, but we forget
You're
about
right.
the east and west sides.
You're right, you're right.
But anyways, but I know I think Ripley we would lean sort of north. You know, just
Oh,
depending.
definitely, yep, we
Yeah.
have, well, we have you on the board, we have Pete
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah.
Way back, John Potter, so,
yeah.
and we try to do that, well, we do that with our board, with our voting members, with all we do, is to get representation from throughout our Northern Chautauqua. We work on getting different ages, different ethnicities. We want our board to represent Northern Chautauqua
what
County.
our community looks like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So community is anyone in the region and more or less towards the north. All right. All right. So Leslie, how do you get involved with all this?
Well, I am the community engagement coordinator.
Yeah,
I've been in
so-
this role since February.
So you engage the community.
Absolutely.
What,
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to get your arms around, isn't it?
It's very broad. It's a very broad description. But my job is I kind of think of it as a liaison between the community and the foundation. So really what I'm trying to do is to bring people in, get them involved, get them engaged in what we're doing and aware of what we're doing.
Who's they?
The community members at large.
Give me some examples, would you? Who are you working with these days?
Some examples. Well, as Diane said, we do a lot of collaborating with other foundations, with other organizations, with our donors. Really,
So if someone's listening right now and they say, you know, I've come to a point where I'd like to get involved with something, they probably give you a call.
absolutely. And there really is something for everyone at the Community Foundation.
How many different funds you got?
Oh my,
Ooh,
close to 400?
400.
I would say so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's define what we mean by a fund, because
Definitely.
I'm not trying to lead the witnesses here, but it's
No, I
actually
appreciate
my
that.
brain asking these
I
questions.
appreciate that, I appreciate
Because
that.
I like to know these things.
Right.
So 400 different funds. So
Right, right.
so we had a list right now. We go from
Yep.
1 to 400.
Yep,
So
yep. Okay, so a fund is created by an individual, a business, a group. They pull their resources together and create an endowment. And as I said earlier, an endowment means we hold the money and we spend the income.
in this case, it would be the interest on the principal.
Yep.
Another way of putting it.
Yep. And for each of those 400 funds, each of them has a separate purpose.
Okay.
So Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary Club has one that supports charitable organizations and charitable projects in their region. So they've pulled their money together, we invest it, and they distribute the income. We have funds for scholarships that work the same way. Families come together, they pool their money, we invest it and give the income away to students that they don't select the students, but they select the type of students, right? So
Parameters.
they may say a student that excelled in art and who's going on to study art.
Well, I can share an example
Good.
with folks. Is that I'm a Mason, okay, free and accepted Mason, and when our lodge disbanded, we started the Beacon
Right?
scholarship program, and we gave you a bunch of money, and I think we were giving like a whopping $100 to 2 kids. And one had to be from Westfield, and one had to be from Ripley. And we didn't pick the kids.
Right.
And we kept it pretty broad, if I remember right. You know, somebody that we felt that needed some support. And now I think we're giving like $300 or $400
Right.
to each kid, and we haven't done anything to that thing. It's
Right,
just
right.
grown and grown and grown
Right,
with
right,
interest and
right.
stuff. So that's really, really cool. And I know that when I report back to the folks that are still around from the lodge, that they're very, very happy. They feel
Good.
really
I'm
good
glad
about
to hear
that.
that, yeah.
Because some of those guys are getting up into their 80s and 90s, and they think,
Well,
wow,
and that's
cool.
it. You don't want to raise funds every year, right? No matter what
Correct.
organization.
There's enough of that.
You don't want to have a golf tournament year after year after year. But if you endow it, not to get too technical, but we have a strict investment policy that we follow, and it's been created to do two things: to provide income to distribute in the community, right? So in the form of scholarships, but then also to account for inflation. So if you start a fund with $1,000, eventually that $1,000 isn't going to buy as much as it does when you create it, right?
Right.
So we invest so that a part of the earnings goes to the community and a part of it goes back to the fund. So where you were, let's say your fund was $1,000, now it's worth $1,200, $1,300. So you're earning off the $1,200, $1,300.
So, folks, again, they're listening. I always want to talk as if I'm the other side
course, I
of the
appreciate
TV
that.
screen here. People are listening, and they're so inclined, and they either had a group or the organization, or like our lodge, you know, thought, what are we going to do with this money? We wanted to go to a good cause because we didn't need it. What is the amount that you start a fund? Is it $1,000, or what's the deal?
Well, for our community benefit funds, it's typically $5,000 is the minimum. But this is actually the 35th anniversary of the Community Foundation. It
35
started,
years old.
Yeah, started in 1986 with some really great community-minded individuals. And this being the 35th anniversary, to celebrate that, we've lowered that minimum to $3,500. And it doesn't have to be paid all at once either. You know, this is something that can be done over a number of years. There's different ways to make that happen. Like
That's
Diane said, you
amazing.
can collaborate with a group and make that happen. And it's open-ended, so anyone can contribute to that, to your fund.
So, if someone wanted to create their own family fund or whatever, scholarship, they would just contact you?
Sure.
And how do they do that?
Absolutely. They can call our office. The phone number is 366-4892, or stop into the office. We just ask that people wear a mask when they're coming inside, but we love visitors. We're at 212 Lakeshore Drive West in Dunkirk.
Right on the lake, right?
Yep.
Yep, cool. Tough question. How much money have you given away?
Between 17 and 18 million.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you just say million?
I did.
Over
and every
35 years, 17
yeah.
to 18 million?
Yep. And we look at it
Wow.
as, you know, investments in the community,
That
right?
much.
And every year it's that grows. Of course, it grows more, but the amount we grant is more each year.
Wow.
Each year, so it's exciting.
That's
It's
powerful.
It is, and what we talk about at the foundation is, where would that money be if it wasn't with us, right? It would be gone, right? Just
A
totally
rusty
gone.
old automobile in the garage, it's
Right.
some condo that's falling down
Yeah.
somewhere, or
Right.
or been sold off and it's poof,
Right,
done.
but even just the power of endowment, again, it stays. It stays. So I could give $100 to agency X, I could add it, and it would be gone. Going to a wonderful purpose, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I could put a portion of that into an endowment that's going to stay. It's amazing, really, the power of it. It really is.
I wonder if these folks had Aller, is that what you said their name? I wonder if they ever envisioned how big it would have gotten.
Yeah.
Has it grown?
Their
Fund to
fund,
know.
of course.
But I mean, the agency itself, I mean, how big are you? I mean, is it grown a lot since those days?
Sure, we're about 35, 36 million. I haven't looked at the markets lately.
$1 million?
Of course, yeah.
Was it in the thousands back then?
When they.
You don't have to give me the exact
Yeah, it
amount,
was
but-
probably under 10.
10,000?
Yeah, because that was around,
You
no,
started
it
with-
was around 10, just under 10 million.
Oh, 10
when they-
million?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And you've given away 18 million,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're sitting at 36 million. Woo!
Yeah,
So the stock market must make you guys crazy.
it does. Well, there were years, you think back to, 2008. But again, not to get too technical, I mentioned our investment policy. it also accounts for the ups and downs, so that when there is a down year, when the market's down 8-10%, there's still money in your fund to give away.
Okay.
Unless there are really drastic drops and your fund is brand
Blow the
new.
whistle. Time out.
Yeah, but it's amazing the way the policy's set up.
Okay, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do this anyways. I sit on the board, and I got to tell you, folks, there's some folks, I say guys, guys and gals on that board. I just sit there and I just listen because they're talking, and I understand money. I do. I mean, it was part of my life for a long time in education, but they get into the weeds far deeper than
Yeah.
I ever cared to, and I listen to them. And you bring in those guys that handle the money, and they're talking about basis points, and they're talking about all this stuff, and I just sit there and shake my head. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I got you. I mean, it's well, word I want to say, shepherded. You are good caretakers of the money. Every dime is accounted for. I mean, it's
Right.
well
It's
taken care
highly
of.
professional. Something to point out is that our investment committee, they don't sit around a table and say, hey, let's invest in this, and oh, let's sell this.
Yeah.
We have the policy, it lays out how much in equity, how much stocks and bonds, and so on, and then we work with professionals who help us decide how to
Right.
make that work.
And from my perspective, I don't want to say conservative, but not wild either. There seems to be a happy balance of
Right.
where the monies are invested,
Right.
so that you get the best bang for everyone's dollar.
Right.
And you're not losing money. Of course, with the stock market, you got some losers and you got some winners. So you hopefully have more winners than losers. But
Right.
yeah, that's pretty wild. So where's all this money sit? In a bank? I don't even. Where do you put all
It's in
that
the
money?
office in a safe. Yeah.
Under my desk.
Imagine that. That would be something, huh? Well, we have, custodians that I think we use TD Ameritrade or something. So
Okay,
that's
so
where it sits.
it sits with a
Right.
finance group. Wow. Okay. Okay. So how about a couple of good success stories, Leslie? So far, you said you've been with the agency for almost a year now. So anything that sticks out, a project you worked on, you say, "Wow, this is really cool."
Yeah, one of the first things that I tackled and took on when I started at the foundation was Give Big CHQ.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of those collaborative county-wide things that we're involved in. We, collaborate with the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation on that, and that's a 24-hour online fundraising drive for
we
all of our
announce it here every year.
nonprofits. Yeah, thank you so much for that. It's incredible, the generosity of our community. I mean, we saw, I think it was over $400,000 pour in 24 hours this year from across the county.
This is always weird. We think when you have a poor county as we do, that people aren't going to give. People that don't have a lot of money give a lot of money. That's been my experience,
Yep.
because they get it. And boy, we should be so proud of that fact that we live in one of the poorest counties in New York State. We really do. And to raise that much money is pretty outstanding. Good on you guys out there that are listening. All right, so what else?
Yeah. In the same, on the same topic, I'm reminded of how many nonprofit organizations we have in our county. I don't think people realize, I know I didn't realize how many there were until I became involved at NCCF. One that sticks out in my head in particular is called the Sunshine Fund. That's run by Alex Conti. He's a gym teacher and wrestling coach at Fredonia High School. I think he's been doing that 27 years. And I got to meet Alex in June at a meet and greet for their nonprofit, the Sunshine Fund. What they do is they help families with the costs of funeral expenses for children ages 1 to 19, which is just such a noble, such a worthy cause, really. Nobody expects to have to shoulder that cost.
No.
And when I met Alex, they were just getting started, and he expressed to me such gratitude for Give Big CHQ and for the money that they received from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation and CRCF from what we called the Stretch Pool Funds, and that was money donated by the two community foundations that went directly to those organizations that participated.
Wow.
So, just really seeing the impact that we have on those smaller organizations like that, and by extension on the whole community, because they're doing some really great work.
Diane, anything come to mind from you, for you?
Well, something that's been going on the past few years is we've really been focusing on economic development and economic prosperity. We've made really our largest grants to support either individuals that are working on that issue, or most recently, the last 2 years, we've supported the partnership, the Chautauqua Region Partnership for Economic Growth. And we've invested $200,000 into that effort, which is a lot.
I don't think people think about foundations in that way, do they?
Right? No, but geez, what's more important to
It's
make the community tick, right?
It's the underpinnings of the community, and to be able to do that is, again, to use your term, noble. You know, to really think with that foresight, if we invest here, perhaps this will grow there, and so forth.
So the funds have gone to site studies. A smaller one went simply to buy PPE during COVID, helping the, I can't remember the contest that was in, and I should remember it, in Fredonia, that was helping the businesses to help advertise for that.
Oh, yeah. What was
The cable TV show.
Yeah. Justin, what was that one? Do you remember? With Ty.
Yes.
Ty
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
other woman. Yeah.
Economic development takes a long time, right? It's not something we're going to see changes overnight, but working with CREDIC, which is another acronym that's CCPEG is under. I know lots of acronyms.
Diane, did you wake up one day as a kid and say, "I want to do
Oh,
this"?
my goodness.
How'd you get into this business?
Well, I was very lucky. You know, we had a Rotary banquet Thursday night for Jim Rockcliffe, and I'm president of Rotary, and I'm doing an introduction talking about president of Rotary, and then my professional career is with the Community Foundation. I'm just so privileged, so blessed to be in both of those positions. But I'm from Pittsburgh, married my husband, moved up here. I worked doing some grant making for some other organizations, and just got connected with the foundation. Went in
With
as
Dave,
the,
do we know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as his executive assistant, and just.
I think that's where you were when we first met.
Yep,
back then.
1995 maybe.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
We're in that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been wonderful. I always say that I really don't run into people in my work that are, I don't want to say give me problems, but it's always positive. It's never,
Feel good type stuff.
yeah. I'll hear other people, friends, family complain about, I got to do this, so I got to do that, I got to work with that person, but I don't experience that. So I'm really lucky.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Thank
Small
you.
business revolution.
We were going to center in a little more on bequests. So let's define bequest and how does it all work?
You take that? You want me to take that?
Well, a bequest is when somebody makes a decision to leave a gift through their will or through their estate. The process is honestly so much easier, I think, than people realize, much easier than I realized before I was involved here. And, you know, like we said before with Peggy Aller, it allows people to continue to give to the community in ways that they couldn't possibly have imagined necessary for generations to come.
Okay, so let's go step 1, step 2, 3. So they would call this number. I want to talk to Leslie. Then what happens?
Typically, we'd arrange for them to come into the office if they're comfortable coming in and sitting down and talking with us, and we can get them the information
Can you go to
that
their
they
home?
need.
Can you go to their home?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, we can go to their home. I always recommend people discuss things with their financial advisor as well. If they have one, they can help them with that process as well.
This could be their tax preparer or their financial
Right.
advisor does an investments. A lot of people don't have a financial advisor. They just send their taxes and they just got a bunch of money in the bank. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they say, okay, we're good to go. So then what? What's the next step then? So they say, yes, we're comfortable.
Yep. So they would decide, again, perhaps with their professional advisor, attorney, and even their family, what of their asset they want to give. Some people just write into their will, I want to give $5,000 to the community foundation. Some people may say, I want to dedicate this portion of my life insurance, which is really an easy way to do it because it doesn't have to go into your will. It's just your life insurance policy. You know, I give X percent, I give X amount, I give the entire proceeds to the community foundation. You can do that with your IRA, which really has tax benefits when you use your IRA. Something you mentioned Dave Duino, and one of his favorite things to say was you don't have to be a millionaire to be a philanthropist. And I think when you hear about our funds, you think, oh, I need, $50,000 to set up a fund. That, I need to be so-and-so who drives so-and-so kind of a car and all that. But you don't. You can leave $500. You can leave $750, $1,000, $5,000.
All right,
It doesn't have to be huge.
We're going to come back to that. We have a
Yep,
phone call.
of course.
Okay.
Thank
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dot. Good morning, Diane and Leslie.
Good morning.
This
Morning.
is Linda Spalding.
Where have you
And
been? Where have you been? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I called couple. I just didn't call last week. For the last 2 weeks I had to go places.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to leave early in the morning on Saturday. I apologize.
Okay. That's okay. You don't have to call in. I just haven't heard from you. we talked every Saturday for 7 years, I think.
I'm glad everybody survived the possible tornado. Boy, it was getting kind of. There was a lot of anxiety around 20 after 6 last night.
Well, here I was eating somewhere, and I said, what tornado? We were down in Pennsylvania somewhere. I didn't even know there was one.
Well, there were 2 water spouts outside of Buffalo and Lake Erie, and then it went through Portland, Brockton, near Burdick Road.
Wow.
And around 20 after 6, and they were telling people on Channel 7 News to take cover in Cassadaga because it was headed toward Cassadaga and Arkwright.
Really? Yeah, I was down in Erie, Pennsylvania during that time. That's okay.
Yeah, well,
I'm good with that.
I'm glad we didn't get what could have possibly happened. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's great to see that you and Diane and Leslie on the show. Economic development is so crucial. And for many years, I worked with seniors, helping them get jobs. Seniors who were looking for better work or who were unemployed. And so economic development is so important. And this is such a beautiful area to be pursuing this. So congratulations.
Excellent. Good point.
Thank you.
Keep the machinery going as far as the economy, and then everybody gets the work.
Right, and that's it. Just community prosperity, where everybody is taken care of, where everybody is comfortable and feels safe.
It's what we used to call a healthy community. Remember that term we talked about?
Right, yeah. But Linda called, and we'd like to give her a little something.
You want to give
Would that be
Linda
okay?
something?
Do you want to?
Sure. Is Linda still with us?
Linda, yeah, she's there.
Yes.
Yeah. Linda, we'd like to give you the opportunity to be a philanthropist today. Would you like that?
Yes.
Fantastic. So we are going to give you some money to give to an organization of your choosing. Do you have anyone in mind?
Oh, there's lots of places I have in mind.
Well, you wouldn't have to. Go ahead.
It would be connected with employment. Organizations that I worked with through the years that appreciated senior workers and provided them with training and job possibilities and jobs.
That's great.
So
Great.
who's the organization?
Yeah, I don't think
Do
we
you have
need
a
to know.
specific organization in mind?
Well, I'll tell you, there's 2 that stand out, but I really do have a lot of appreciation for the adult daycare programs.
Yep, Adult Day Services. Frank and Karen, they do a great job.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do. And they've hired a lot of wonderful workers. And when I would place anybody there, and these were like training to work positions that were subsidized through a grant from the Department of Labor, the people that I would send there would say, "Oh, I love it there," and everybody would want to go there.
Yeah.
Because they're so good to everyone.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but we'd love to make a contribution in your name of $50 to them.
Oh, thank you very much.
My show has just turned into a money giveaway show. I feel like let's make a deal.
Yeah.
You know, Doc, you have to do this more often.
I guess so.
Well, this is, so we call it Be a Philanthropist,
Yeah.
and we do it, you know, when we go different places, county fair, things like that, to give people the opportunity to feel,
Yeah.
you know, hey, this feels good to give, to be a philanthropist.
Well,
and to
Linda,
support a local organization.
congratulations, you have a new title.
I'm so glad I've got a title. I lost it for a while. It bothered me.
Okay.
Well, we'll make sure we take care of that.
Well, thanks for calling in, and that was fun. Great.
Oh, thank you very much. And Leslie, I'm so appreciative of this. This is terrific.
Thank you.
You brought sunshine on a rainy day.
Oh, our pleasure.
Okay, Lynn, you take care.
You too. Have a great weekend and week.
All right. Very cool. Bye-bye now.
Bye bye.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
Of course, the phone's going to ring off the wall now. I got to be a philanthropist. Well, that was just as easy as it could be, right?
Yeah.
So we were still talking about bequests. So they can go in. They can leave it in their will, their insurance. Their you said something about IRA.
IRA, yep,
How's that
yep.
work? I mean,
Well,
that's
the
just
same
a
way.
pension-like type thing,
Right,
right?
and I'm not an accountant or an estate planner, but I believe if you give directly to your heirs from an IRA, it's different. It's taxed differently than if you give it to a charity.
Got it.
So if you
Okay.
have two things to give to your family and one's an IRA, you know, you may want to do charity gets the IRA, family gets whatever.
Okay. Leave the dog to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People do
Okay.
that.
All right. So then
Yes.
they establish how they want to do it. So how do you know that that's what
Well,
they want to do?
that's important to us, but unfortunately, people don't always tell us. But of course, that's their choice. Some of our largest gifts have come from individuals that we didn't know, and we wish we would have been able to say thank you to them. So we have what we call Bequest Society, and Leslie can probably give a few words about that.
Yeah, the Bequest Society of NCCF is our way of recognizing those people who have left a gift through their estate or plan to leave a gift through their estate to NCCF. I think it has, about 50 members currently. And yeah.
Yeah, we're working on building that. It's just so easy.
Okay.
to-
And again, is
Yep.
there a minimum amount?
There is no minimum amount, no.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd rather do something about that.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies, we have a minute and just under 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Leslie go first,
Mm-hmm.
and then Diane, you can wrap it up. Okay? So what would you like to tell folks?
You know, just that I think community is something that's so important to all of us. I know it's very important to me. It's why I'm in this role. It's why I'm so happy to be here. And, you know, if you're one of those people sitting at home thinking, I wish I could make a difference, you can. Give us a call, 366-4892, and we're going to walk you through that.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. And Diane?
Yeah, Leslie stole my words. If you want to make a difference, reach out to us. And also, of course, we're online, nccfoundation.org. Listening to you talk at the beginning, giving all your announcements, I was like, wow, we live in an incredible community.
Yeah.
And if we want to keep it that way, if we want to make it even better, build prosperity for the long term, then I encourage you to work with us.
We still have like 50 seconds, Jeff, and we have a fundraiser coming up. And I forgot we have a poster, right?
Sure.
The Rotary.
Yeah, Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary is having a Chevetta's barbecue, everybody's favorite, next Tuesday, which is the 19th, I believe.
See if we can pop that up. Maybe.
From
There it is.
Noon to 5.
All right.
And it's at the Forest Lodge, which is on East Main Street in Fredonia. Very easy to find.
Masonic Lodge.
Drive through, drive in, drive
in.
out. Easy schmeezy.
And this is going to proceed,
Yep.
the Rotary Club. Okay,
Yep.
great organization
Yep.
up there.
I
All right,
appreciate
Jeff,
that.
thanks for that. Okay, well, we're just about done, so thanks for coming
No,
by.
thank you so
and-
much. Thank
you.
Absolutely.
It was fun.
And let people know, once again, their money is safe with you.
Yeah.
It grows, and then it turns around and benefits others. It's like
Right.
planting,
Forever and ever.
planting trees.
Exactly.
Plant an apple tree, somebody's going to eat that apple someday, right?
Yep,
Exactly.
Keep it going. All right, well, that's a wrap, I think, for another Saturday here at Chautauqua Sunrise. My guests today have been Leslie Willie and Diane Hannum from the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. I seriously want you to consider becoming a bequester. I know my wife and I have talked about it, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, we'll see you all again next week. Take care and do the best you can with the rain. I don't know. There's lots of indoor activities you can check out. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye now.